Money isn't evil, but this is.
The goal is who you're becoming along the way.
Experiences are way more important than things.
Good morning. It's 4:25, so I got a late start this morning. Where's my toque? I don't find my toque. There it is, as Willow would say. There it is. Okay. All right. I don't usually talk this early in the morning. I can kind of run you through what I do before my ice tub. Bring you over here with me. So what I do is turn the light on here. I try not to scroll my phone at all, but I do check the weather because I put that on my videos to show people what the weather is. Minus 27 Celsius. It's been chilly the past couple weeks. And if you don't know who I am or where I'm from, well, first of all, I'm Matt Chenard. If you don't know where I'm from Canada, Alberta, Canada. Minus 27 Celsius. I don't know what that was in Fahrenheit for my American friends. Then I review my script that I made the night before, which I can't remember. I might include that in the video or I might not, how I do that. So my controlling idea is this: money isn't evil, the worship of money is evil. Then I think, what is the hook for that? If you don't want to worship money, start with this mindset. So a good hook would be, money is not evil, but this is. So that's the hook. Money isn't evil, the worship of it is. So I'm saying this to gain curiosity and intrigue. So I try to remember, I have anchors for each section that will jog my memory as I'm talking in the ice tub. Because I only got one shot at this. I don't do redos when I'm sitting in the cold water. And I close my eyes to envision myself in there. What's going to feel like, what it's going to look like, how my body's going to react to the cold. Stewardship, so that's something. So this is a good line, I try to memorize it. The danger isn't whether you have a lot or a little. So danger, what's the danger? It's not whether you have a lot or a little. When it comes to worshiping money, it's whether your situation causes you to trust in money instead of the creator. The worship of money isn't evil, this is. Steward, priorities, danger, a lot or a little. Okay, let's try it out.
Money isn't evil, but this is.
Do that inside. Where? So now, devotion time / make the video time. Good morning, I'm Matt Chenard, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm getting started. I'm filming day in the life content for you all, so you see a look behind the scenes of everything. Today, we got some cold plunging, we got some jiu-jitsu, going on a date with my wife, all good stuff. See you in there. I don't know if I spoiled it. Let's make some coffee. Not bad. Usually I tap it once between as well. Okay. I think a good pull, supposedly 28 seconds. Let's see what we got. Got my narrow gate Bible here. I love it. The idea is that Jaleesa and I are going to write in it for the rest of our lives and pass it on to our kids one day. Okay, what I'm doing here, let's show you. Canva, open it up. Then I make a copy. Now it's ready. for the next part is to upload the video. So I'm not going to upload the video I just did. I only cold plunge 5 days a week. But this Sunday, it was a really cold one. So I wanted to get that one in because it does better on Instagram. Helps me get my message out there. So now I got to find which one that was. Not quitting because you miss, but you quit because you justify. Justify it because you missed, but that we don't miss on our goals because we miss a day. It's because we justify quitting because we missed a day. It'll make more sense in a second. As it's uploading, I read my Bible. Sip of coffee first. Ooh, that's good. I am in the book of Daniel. I just was going over some visions. Maybe I should read it to you all. I don't see why not. Good practice for me. Daniel's vision of a man in the third year of, oh no, might be names I don't pronounce right the first time. Don't judge me, anyone on there. In the third year of Cyrus, king of Persia, a revelation was given to Daniel, who was called Belteshazzar. Its message was true and it concerned a great war. The understanding of the message came to him in a vision. At the time, Daniel mourned for 3 weeks. I ate no food, no meat or wine touched my lips, and used no lotions at all till 3 weeks were over. 24th day of the first month, as I was standing on the bank of the great river, the Tigris, I looked up, and there before me was a man dressed in linen, with a belt of fine gold from Uphaz around his waist. His body was like topaz, his face was like lightning, his eyes like flaming torches, his arms and legs like the gleam of burnished bronze, and his voice like the sound of the multitude. I, Daniel, was the only one who saw the vision. And those who were with me did not see it, but such terror overwhelmed them that they fled and hid themselves. So I was left alone, gazing at the great vision. I had no strength left. My face turned deathly pale, and I was helpless. Then I heard him speaking, and as I listened to him, I fell into a deep sleep. My face was to the ground. Break. The videos are about halfway loaded. I try not to go through this rushed, but I do have a limited time in the morning before my wife and daughter wake up, and I want to make sure to get important things done. So I shouldn't say that. Every once in a while, I'll read my Bible more in the afternoon than just this. A hand touched me, verse 10, Daniel, hand touched me and set me trembling on my hands and knees. He said, Daniel, you are highly esteemed. Consider carefully the words I am about to speak to you, and stand up, for I have now been sent to you. And when he said this, I stood up trembling. Then he continued, do not be afraid, Daniel, since the first day that you set your mind to gain understanding, to be humble yourself before God. Your words were heard. I have come in response to them. But the prince of Persian kingdom resisted me 21 days. Interesting. Then Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me because I was detained there with the king of Persia. Now I have come to explain to you what will happen to you people in the future, for a vision concerning the time yet to come. While he was saying this to me, I bowed with my face towards the ground and was speechless. Then one who looked like a man touched my lips, and I opened my mouth and began to speak. I said to one standing before me, I am overcome with anguish because of my vision, my Lord. I feel very weak. How can I, your servant, talk with you, my Lord? My strength is gone, and I can hardly breathe. Again, the one who looked like a man touched me and gave me strength. Do not be afraid, you who are highly esteemed. He said, peace, be strong. Be strong now, be strong. When he spoke to me, I was strengthened and said, speak, my Lord, since you have given me strength. So he said, do you know why I have come to you? Soon I'll return to fight against the prince of Persia, and when I go, the prince of Greece will come. But first I will tell you what is written in the book of truth. No one supports me them except Michael. Daniel's first vision, 536 BC, gives further insight into the great spiritual battle between God's people and those who want to destroy them. He also received more detailed information on the future, specifically the struggles between the Ptolemies and the Seleucids. Prior to this vision, Cyrus had allowed the Jews to return to Jerusalem, but Daniel had stayed in Babylon. Why didn't Daniel return to Jerusalem? He may have been too old to make the long, hazardous journey. He was over 80. His government duties could have prevented him, or God may have told him to stay behind to complete the work he was called to do. Daniel refrained from eating certain foods and using lotions because he was mourning, and these were signs of feasting and rejoicing. Daniel's people had just returned to Jerusalem, but the vision revealed trials and tribulations to the years to come. Daniel conveys his deep anguish here over the events revealed. The man seen by Daniel was a heavenly being. Some commentators believe that it was the appearance of Christ, while others think it was an angel because he requires Michael's help. Okay, so I don't know if it was Gabriel then. In either case, maybe it was Christ. Daniel caught a glimpse of the ongoing battle between good and evil supernatural powers, which is wild. We don't really think about that often, especially in the Western world, but it's real. Daniel was frightened by the vision, but the messenger reassured him. Daniel lost his speech, but the messenger touched it, restored it. Daniel felt weak and helpless, but the messenger's words strengthened him. God can bring us healing when we are hurt, peace when we are troubled, and strength when we are weak. When we are experiencing pain, anguish, anxiety, or exhaustion, ask God for a fresh touch of his love. The Lord God sent a message to Daniel, a powerful spiritual being, prince of Persian kingdom, detained the messenger for 3 weeks. Daniel faithfully continued praying and fasting, and God's messenger eventually arrived. That's interesting. So Daniel, by praying and fasting, like helping in the spiritual world, I've been thinking about doing a fast for a while. Maybe this is a good reason to. God's messenger eventually arrived, assisted Michael, the archangel. Answers to our prayers may be hindered by unseen obstacles, and not necessarily because of our sin. Don't expect God's answers to come easily or too quickly. Prayer may be challenged by evil forces. Jesus taught us to pray fervently and earnestly. Luke 18:1-8. Look for God to answer at the right time, because he is good and he is perfect, and you could trust in him. The heavenly warfare was to be direct against Persia and then Greece. Each of these nations was to have power over God's people, but both Persia and Greece were represented by evil, angelic princes, or demons. But God controls past, present, future, and all events recorded in his book of truth. That was a fun one. Then I'll do the Lord's Prayer. And when I say I need to be better, it's not like I could earn my salvation through my works, but I know I need to pray more because it's good for me. I'll do it aloud. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our sins as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Okay, here we go. So one bad thing about pre-recording a day before is what I talked about isn't fresh in my mind. So I need to do that. I need to review it. Same thing I did this morning. Find the principles.
People don't fail their goals because they... So reset your mind each day in the pursuit of your goal.
Okay, I think I got it. So then what I do is I've curated ChatGPT with a bunch of my style of writing, and then so it helps me write. It's still my ideas, still my thoughts, but this is what I do. Okay, can you help me write a grammatically correct Instagram post in my style and tone of writing? Give good line spaces. I want the first line to be the hook. So the controlling idea is that people quit because they miss a day, and that causes them to miss their goals. So, and then after the first hook line, I want you to have the CBB call to action with a finger pointing emoji to the reader. and then have the PS sections of CBB, mod tub, and EYD. Remember, have a 0 instead of an O for the comment, and then a little descriptor of all these calls to action. Here we go. Many people fail to reach their goals or become stagnant because of this. Growth happens through consistency over a long period of time. When I talk about consistency, when I say consistency, I'm not talking about perfection. I'm talking about consistent. Now, I know I just repeated myself, but when you train anything, when you're practicing anything new, you're going to miss. Threshold training is you're challenging yourself. You're pushing past what is normal for you. I'm not a basketball player, but let's say I got good at my from the free throw line, and I could make like 90% of the shots or even higher. And then I want to get better from the three-pointer line. I'm going to miss more shots than I would from the free throw line because it's new, it's a threshold. But with time and consistency, that is going to go up in how many shots I make. But initially, I'm going to miss more. Initially, it's not going to go as good as it did from the free throw line, regardless of the distance. It's the same thing in life and with your goals. Growth doesn't stop because you missed a checkbox. Growth stops because you justify quitting when you miss a checkbox. And the main goal is not just to achieve the goal. The main purpose, rather, is not just to achieve the goal. The main purpose is who you're becoming along the way. To challenge yourself by pursuing something beyond what you're capable of that will stretch you. And as you pursue this ideal, you grow in character. You grow in strength. If it's a physical thing, you grow spiritually. If it's a spiritual thing, you grow relationally as you step outside that comfort. Remember, we're holistic people: mental, physical, spiritual, relational, professional. Challenge yourself in all these areas. Don't quit on what you're pursuing just because you missed a checkbox. Know that's going to take time. Focus on the 1%. Daily movement instead of expecting perfection. Perfectionists quit, become complacent, and ultimately stagnant. Consistent people drastically change their lives over a long period of time. If you found this beneficial, share with a friend. Until next time, earn your dopamine. Okay, so then I do its thing. And now I've created another channel on ChatGPT that helps me create hooks. So I've fed it a bunch of copy and workbooks from people who are good at this and taught it, and then stuff I've learned, and then I memorized it. So then what I do is I go here, I copy what I just did. I say, hey, help me create a viral hook. You know which hooks have worked best. Give me 5 options. The one that's going to, based on this post, give me the highest chance of reaching the most amount of people. Based on the principles, Copy, paste. Perfection is why you keep failing. That's not bad. You're stuck because you think progress should be perfect. You don't need more discipline, you need this. Why perfectionists always lose. Ooh. The real reason you keep giving up. Okay, I'll let that sit, and now I'm going to edit my video. So I'll give you a little sneak peek here. Visual hook. Sound. Some people like having the sound like this. There you go. Showcasing that frigid water. Good old axe. Used it for a lot of years. I try to do some cuts because people's attention span is not super long. Cut that little part out. It's a good chop. There you go. Good little, maybe comical thing. Now the next part. I'm not going to go to the whole video, but just so you can kind of see. Okay, Now,
People don't
time to create the captions using the Captions app. It's really handy. So something you also could do is upload it to Captions app, and it'll take the transcript from the video itself, and then you could put that into ChatGPT and say, write me a caption for this video that sounds like me and my style of writing. You don't have to have captions. I do it for SEO purposes, and then to explain something I couldn't explain in a 90-second or 60-second video on Instagram. Loading. So it looks like this.
People don't fail their goals because they miss a day. People fail their goals because they miss a day, miss a checkbox, and let that justify quitting.
There you go. Okay, so I found my hook for the video, perfectionism. So ideally when you're creating a hook, you want it under 8 words. Perfectionism is the fastest way to fail. That's pretty good, right? So it's a common term that will resonate with a lot of people. Perfectionism. And failure is a pain point. So I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfectionism is the fastest way to fail. And people don't want to fail. So that'll draw the intrigue. And then I'm creating a curiosity gap. Why is this the case? Which will make them want to watch the rest of my video. Okay, let's review the day here. So I usually don't wear this. I don't wear the toque, aka beanie, in the morning, but I have morning hair. I guess it doesn't matter. You guys can see that. So right now, I have my little girl beside me. She's sleeping in the other room. That's why I whisper when I'm doing this, because I don't want to wake her up. I want her to be able to sleep as long as possible and then get lots done. I'm excited to see her. I'm excited to play with her, but I still got a lot of work to do. So it took me a little longer this morning to go through my whole morning routine because I'm talking and sharing this with you all. But usually around 4 a.m., do my devotions, do my prayer, my ice plunge, create that post. And share it to social media. Jaleesa's at the gym coaching 6 a.m. and then doing overlapping or a semi-private training. I have an onboarding call with someone for my Time Wealth program where I help people gain back time and make more money in their businesses so they can spend time with their family, not have a time stealing liability, and create a cash flowing asset. Then some coursework creation, Jiu-Jitsu at 11 a.m., a creator call this morning. So people who are creators in my business, creator businesses, we have one at 1 p.m. I have a problem solving section for my businesses at 3:30. And then I have a sales call. And then hopefully Jalisa and I can go on a date. We try to prioritize a date night once a week. Jalisa was sick for the past little while, so it's been difficult to do that. So let me show you. And this morning, before Willow wakes up, I'm still going to try to send messages, reply to messages on Instagram, on school, my free Christian Business Builder group, reply to emails, and then check in on the operating systems. So when I say operating systems, this is what I mean. There it is. So this is where I house all my businesses. So you see Matt's businesses, Chenard HQ, Jalisa and I have this. This is our gym business. And then these are my clients for the Time Wealth program right there. So I have a bunch of things up here. Then you review, check off, check in on the flow of everything. Okay, so we have controlling ideas, we have rhythms here, we have project cards, and my manager checks in on this once a week. And this has to be one of the most important things someone can create. Operating system personally and professionally. Your systems are perfectly designed to give you the results you're getting. And that's why I have systems in all areas of my life to keep me disciplined, to keep me consistent. And that's what I would say is the biggest part of why I can stay consistent in ice plunging. And I'm not perfect, but I'm pretty consistent in these things. making sure I'm spending time with my family, and trying to scale multiple businesses. So if you are curious about this, send me an email, me@mattchenard.com. Send me a DM on Instagram with the keyword 20x16, because I help business owners get to 20 by 16 milestone, 20K take home months, working 16 hours a week. So like I said, they can spend more time with their family, build profitable, impactful businesses for their clients. So send me a message. You need systems for that to happen.
Okay, so I'm just reviewing some client messages, and one of the individuals in my program sent a group of us 3 different mission statements he's working with. Mission statements commonly have been known as something that lives on a wall, are supposed to drive where you want to go with your business. But many of them aren't actually measurable. So Donald Miller coined the story brand framework, which basically talks about how we as people intake things best through story. So you actually want to create your mission statement like a story. So this is the option he has that could be client facing, but I'm recommending he creates one internally for his internal team. So here it is: empowering real estate investors and business owners with creative financial strategies that maximize cash flow, reduce tax burdens, and build long-term wealth, which is great. But internally, you want to make it measurable. And how you make it measurable is using this formula. We will accomplish 3 economic goals. These 3 economic goals increase profit. We will accomplish these 3 economic goals by this date. Give yourself a deadline because of this. And the because part is the purpose statement behind it, which helps you stay committed to this process. So think of any good movie, any good book. There's an objective they have. There's a deadline it needs to happen by. I need to talk to this person before they marry this person. We need to defuse the bomb before this happens. Talking to the person is the objective. Diffusing the bomb is the objective in the other analogy, in the other example. And then you have a deadline and the purpose, right? So in the movie, they need to defuse the bomb. They save a bunch of lives. That's the purpose. I need to talk to this person I love before they get married because I love them and they're going to end up with the wrong person. As an example, story frame. So you create your mission statement like that so it resonates with people. If you're curious about this stuff, like I said, you can find in the captions and its show notes description of this video how to get a hold of me. Okay, so now I'm going to do messaging, which I call relationship deposits. Just building up connections and seeing if I can help people. If I can't, I think it's just good to connect with people. So the reason I'm doing this downstairs instead of upstairs in my office is I'm going to talk into my phone. I'm going to use the dictation option mostly for responding because it's much quicker than typing things out. And this sounds like a humble brag, but it's not. Like, just for reference, I probably reply to 50 between emails and DMs a day, about 50. And I personally reply to everyone. Currently, one day I might have a virtual assistant help me with this, but at the stage of my flywheel in my business right now, I want to make sure that I'm responding to everyone. This Osmo 3 is really cool. It just tracks with me. So I'm going to go into my school group. I missed quite a few. Thanks for sharing, exclamation mark. How long have you been doing this for? Open-ended questions, just starting conversation. Doesn't have to be super long. Okay, so someone said, I'm curious what you offer, Matt. Do you have a doc I can read through? Apologize for the late response, comma. Austin, should have said apologies. On the school app, you can't edit afterwards, which is not ideal. All good, doesn't really matter. Don't overthink things. This is just a little TED talk quickly. Don't overthink things. People don't care as much as you think they do. Just take the action. Happy to chat more about what I have to offer and if I can help. See, scroll back up to our conversation. See what kind of business, coaching business. Would you be up for a free 15-minute call to touch base and see if what I help with is something that would be beneficial to you? Question mark. Don't know how I missed that from 2 days ago. Great to hear. Glad to have you here. Anything in particular you're hoping to get out of the CBB group? Question mark. So you respond, like you acknowledge what they said. And you can have a little buffer between there, and then you just continue the conversation. Ask questions, more and more questions, questions behind the questions. Truly that simple. Another person wants to hop on a call and I missed it. Come on, man. Apologies for the late response. Got it right this time. I said apologies. Sounds good. Would love to connect more and see if I can help. I'll send you my calendar link and you can find a spot that works best for you. So then I go and find my calendar link. Kind of goes without saying. I just keep peering over, waiting for whoever to wake up. So I have a 15-minute strategy call that I hop on with people, triage if they're a good fit, sending link. Let me know when you found a time on my calendar. So then what I do is I go back to unread in school to make sure I can follow up and see if they booked the time. Uh-oh, she's definitely waking up. She's on her back now. We only have a limited time. Thanks for sharing. I absolutely get where you're coming from. My wife is an RN, not currently working, period. We have a 20-month-old daughter, and we're expecting our second kiddo in June. How can I best support you as you build this business out? Got it. Period. Thanks for the question. Would you like some help in building all this out? Question mark. All you have to do is ask the question, and either they'll say no, they'll say yes, or they'll say, what would that look like? Fear of rejection holds a lot of people back. But honestly, if I got rejected, they're not going to think about me. I'm not that important that they're going to think about me the rest of the day. And if I truly believe I can help them, it would be a disservice of me not to offer that. That's great! Exclamation mark. When's proposed launch date? I get it. Sometimes it's hard to carve out time for those less urgent things. Would you like help in building all this out? So I've been talking to this individual for a couple months. Okay, you get the idea. Okay, she's still sleeping, 6:55. I'm going to see if I can't create a post for my free Christian Business Builders group while she's sleeping. I think the controlling idea is procrastinating because you're waiting for perfect. Can you help me create a grammatically correct, I'm using ChatGPT again, grammatically correct post in my style and tone of writing, good line spaces, don't use too many hyphens, avoid AI words like delve, and you know which ones to avoid, and give me 5 really good title options that would get someone to stop scrolling, formatted like a title. Controlling idea is your fear of failure is preventing you from taking action. I've talked with many entrepreneurs over the years, and some of you in this group, about how the fear of failure is robbing you of the ability to take action. If you truly believe you have something to offer the world, a service, a product, a story that could positively benefit someone's life, potentially save their life, it is actually selfish that you don't share out of fear of failure or fear of judgment. Now, I don't say this lightly because I know what that's like. And I've shared this story in here before, but that's why I committed to sharing every single day about 7 years ago on social media, because I was afraid of what people would think of me. I was afraid of how they would judge me. But I believed I had a story to share. I believed I had something that could help someone. Just my personal story, but also with my business offerings. Now, if I didn't commit to sharing that first day that I did and stay consistent with it, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to share the gospel with tens of millions of people. I wouldn't have the ability to organically grow my businesses based on people who resonate with who I am and my story. If I didn't take that first step of action, I wouldn't have the abilities and opportunities I have today. I wouldn't have the ability to storytell like I can, because that came through a lot of practice and thousands of hours of practice. I wouldn't have the opportunities to connect with as many great people as I do today, like all of you, if I didn't start. If I overanalyzed it, if I wait for it to be perfect, I would have never taken action. So maybe this is a prompt for you to start to take action on that thing you've been procrastinating on. Don't overanalyze it, because again, I'm going to keep saying this. The goal is not that what you share is perfect. The goal is who you're becoming along the way. If something you do fails or doesn't equate to the outcome you want, That's okay, because it's changing you as a person. You're finding out what doesn't work until you get closer to what will work consistently, until you become the type of person who will take consistent action and gets better. So don't rob other people who need what you have to offer, who need to hear your story, the ability to hear it, that could potentially save your life, out of fear of judgment or the need for perfection. Was this helpful? Let me know in the comments. Okay. Willow's awake now. For sure.
Breakfast time. I probably eat 13 eggs a day by myself. Cook it in olive oil. Pretty straightforward, simple stuff. Weekends are for pancakes, protein pancakes. Quick oats with some fruit. And then we'll all eat together today. It'll be great. Show you when you eat like 13 eggs a day, you're pretty good at cracking them. Can you do it? Yes. 13. So we'll have some more later because this is going to be split between Jaleesa, Willa, and I. And Willa actually eats like 1 to 2. She likes her eggs. So we recently stopped we're using cast iron now. Apparently it's healthier. Avoid those microplastics. Season. Simple. Nothing too complex. Bring to a boil. Don't actually. For all parties involved. Blueberries. One thing I forgot to mention I did this morning is replying to some comments or questions from my clients. Something else that I'll do throughout the day is that's my first priority. So priority ladder, God, family, so Jaleesa, then Willa, then friends, then fitness, then business. And then when it comes to the business, when I'm prioritizing that, it goes clients, then it goes leads, then it goes organic content creation. If I'm looking at my flywheel. Onboarding call with someone coming into Time Wealth program, drinking some, I don't drink on calls usually because it can seem unprofessional, but I have it beside me in case there is a silence or I have an opportunity to drink it. Creatine, 50 milligrams, whatever the recommended 5 grams doses, and then some electrolytes. Peach mango, it is delicious. Okay, so pull up, there I am. Have the Fathom note taker, here we go, and pull up this individual's operating system. And you'll notice I showered. So even if most of my calls are virtual, sometimes I get the opportunity to do in-person stuff, which I really enjoy. I still like to get ready, shower, smell good, look good, feel good, play good. And there's a saying, how you do anything is how you do everything. So I want to, not only for myself, but something I want to still instill in Willa as she grows older. And I think that's a really cool thing about being a parent is you get to instill a lot of things. And kids are kids caught, not taught, meaning they'll hear how we talk, they'll see what we do, more than listening to the words we use. Say, don't do this or do this. If you're not exemplifying that yourself, it's hard to say that that's going to have an impact on them the way you want to. I want to show you something else. There's my bonsai tree. Got my lights because we're in Canada. We don't have a lot of sunlight during the winter and it's really cold. I'm really excited about this. About the reason I got it is I wanted to practice designing something with a long-term vision in mind, like adapting the branches, tending to it, watering to it, being patient. Because as a visionary in the business world, I have a lot of big ideas, but it could take years for those to actually happen. So I think it's a good practice field and it's just nice to have in the background there. Okay, just got off a great call with someone in the Time Wealth program, the scale portion. So if you aren't familiar, if you haven't seen my other videos, I pinpointed there's 4 parts of entrepreneurial journey. build, grow, scale, and tycoon. And this individual's in the scale category of 2 businesses. So what we're doing is we're really focusing on his calendar and building out his operating system, both personally and professionally, so that he can prioritize his time with the Lord, work out, time with family while scaling his business. And what can commonly happen with so much going on is we get overwhelmed and think that we have to do everything. All you have to do is audit and triage what's the highest impact project and habits you can have in your life right now. It's called like a minimum effective dose principle. What is going to have the biggest impact for my time, money, and energy invested? And prioritize those ones and make sure that that's where you're spending your time and energy. Don't get overwhelmed with every single thing you can do. Focus on the things that are going to have the biggest impact for your time and energy invested. And once you finish that, then look at the next thing, then the next thing. Because paralysis by analysis, people are probably really familiar with that term. I'm sure you've heard it before, is you don't do anything when you get overwhelmed. So remember, it's better to take small actions in the direction you want to go than thinking you have to work on everything and not taking action on anything. So it was a really fun call. Now I get to hang out with Willa as Jaleesa does some of her calls for her eating disorder clients. Second round of coffee, decaf. I can't do caffeinated that much anymore, that many times in the day. Oh man, out of water, Willa. Willa's behind me. She's real excited. She doesn't have, for those people watching, she doesn't have actual coffee. She has steamed milk, and that's what we call coffee. Here, let me make your coffee first. Here we go. Oh, leave a little bit cold in there so it's not too hot for her. Coffee! You can't see her because I won't put her on screen, but she's dancing to the beat of the steamer. Good enough. Oh, it's not good. Clear it out. Okay, 1 coffee. Okay, here you go. You excited? So Dad. There you go, madam. Manium, you're welcome. I had to mix 2 different kinds of decaf because we ran out. See how it goes. You guys are gonna rate my milk pour. Oh no, here we go. No. Okay. Let me know in the comments, out of 10, 10 being amazing, 1 being terrible. What would you rate this? Off to Jiu-Jitsu. This is my 5th session, right, Jay? 5th? It's really fun. I can see why it'd be addicting, why people enjoy it so much. Look at all that snow. Oof. It's cold here too. Hi Willa, what you wearing? Beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful. So I'm doing some private lessons with Gates. He's the manager at the gym and good friend. With Ryan Sandberg at MVM here in Camrose. And it's great. Learning the systems. I'm a systems kind of thinker. I like to be strategic, but it's also a really, really hard workout. And I've been in the fitness industry for 20 years. So I think I'd be aware of what's really difficult, and it's hard. It's a good sweat. So let's get it. Here at MVM, just getting ready for a session. Gates should be coming here right away. I'm going to introduce you to Ryan, the owner of this gym. Some pretty cool stuff he's got here. So excited to show you around, show you some of the stuff we're doing.
That is pretty cool.
Anyway, this is Ryan Sandberg, owner of MVM, and he's going to show you around his dojo. What do you call it?
We call it an academy.
There we go.
So this space here, this is the front lobby space. You'll walk in, you'll be greeted by one of the coaches and or front desk staff. The purpose of this spot is just simply for people to have a nice relaxing place to sit while they watch their kids train. We got the main mat space, some bathrooms, furnace rooms, but this is where most of the fun happens. Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, kids classes, adult classes, all that fun stuff. And then here's our second mat space. We kind of split the classes into two with this center line dividing the two spaces. And then we're in the middle of building out a shower, so it's not done yet, but that will be located right through there. As well as we have a weight room that we're not done yet, but we're awaiting some equipment. So this space eventually will have some heavy bags right where I'm standing going this way. And then a full lineup of strength training equipment. So we're pretty excited for this space to be finished. And yeah.
So I'll record some of our session today. I'll try to splice it together to make me look really good. It's my 5th session, right? I think it's our 5th session.
Yeah, I think something like that.
Now you know. You know the rules. You got a high five.
Sorry, get that second hook in, Gates. Consume the knee, Matt. So if you start getting swept, disconnect your hands and post it.
I start getting swept.
Yeah. So like that time you kept your hands locked, your hands back.
So
If he's starting to create some off balance, let go and post. And then the other thing, that was beautiful. You just didn't bring him to the side, so his knee was still pointed up, which gave him strength to sweep with. You gotta make sure his knee's on the mat before you, and then put your hips over it, so clear it with your knees. Switch top and bottom.
I remember all that. Yeah, it's fun.
It's nice if you have film because then you can study it, right?
Oh no!
That's a win.
I just had to go right for it.
That was a dirty high five. High five underneath the high five level change.
Oh,
Yeah, that's it. Now consume his knee with yours. Get your left knee over his knee, Matt. Split your base. Circle this way. Yep. Tuck your right knee underneath. Try to keep circling. You're in a great spot.
I'll just squish you until you tell me. It's working!
Nice. That's a win. Nice, Gates. Keep that overhook. Nice job. And time. Nice work.
That was good.
Okay, just finished. You can tell I'm sweaty. Hard workout. What did we learn today? Can't remember the names. It was sweaty. So what we do is we do some drilling. Butterfly guard. Again, jiu-jitsu people, let me know in the comments. So we did that for like 45 minutes and then we live trained for 15. It reminds me a lot of hockey battle drills. Just feeling gassed and winded. Let's go have some lunch. Yay. Just on my way back home. I already gave you a rundown. Don't worry, I'm not driving yet. I am, but I'm in the parking lot. So don't worry, we're still safe. Okay, I recorded on the way here, but apparently I pressed the wrong button and it stopped recording. What I was saying is, I'm really excited to do jiu-jitsu because I haven't had something that I've really pursued competitively or athletically in a while. So I played competitive hockey growing up, and once I was finished playing, I was trying to compete in CrossFit, hurt myself. I can share that story another time, but and that kind of dwindled away, that dream. And I'm not saying like I have a kid, another kiddo on the way, a wife, and I'm not trying to win or go to these crazy competitions or anything. That's not the stage of life I'm in the season of life. I want to be, this is my goal. I want to be physically healthy and fit now so that I can enjoy life to the fullest. And I want to work out so I can add years to my life in the future. And not just years to my life, but functional, enjoyable years. That I can enjoy what I'm doing and not just live for a long time, God willing. And having something like jiu-jitsu, kind of going back to what I was saying, I had CrossFit, now it's jiu-jitsu, there's a level system, there's a belt system, and it has something I can pursue and I can try to attain. I think I know we're designed for mission. If the overall mission is to share the gospel, make disciples as Christians. But I think there's sub-missions, for sure. I don't think it's wrong. I think it's actually good. Christians should be pursuing excellence in everything. We should be an example of stewarding our money, our time, our gifts, our stories, not hiding them away, and serving people and glorifying the Lord in everything we do, with our minds, bodies, and spirits. And that's like, this gives me that kind of purpose again, or that mission outside of other stuff. I can think about movements, and when I'm focused and I have a mission like that, I'm way less likely to procrastinate. And that's why I don't think we're meant to retire in the terms of what retirement is believed to be now, meaning never work again and just go lay on a beach somewhere. I think a lot of people that do that, eventually it kind of loses its appeal.
Okay, just finished lunch, had a shower after the gym, after jiu-jitsu. Now I'm responding to comments on Instagram. And yes, those that have asked, it is me personally responding to your comments. I don't use the voice dictation on this one. I wonder if I could find a funny one. Lots of people asking about the carrot I have in the ice tub. Someone told me to switch to carnivore diet. Don't know what that means. Must be commenting on my body. That's a guess. The internet's a wild place, I tell you. Time to reply to some more DMs. You try to do some in the afternoon. Our daughter's still sleeping, so it gives us a little bit of time. If you're interested in Cold Club merch, Earn Your Dopamine merch, coldclub.shop. It'll be in the show notes, description. You can tell I'm newer to Instagram or YouTube. So here we go. Hey, thank you so much for sharing that with me. That's a lot to juggle. That's a lot going on. And I get it. FOMO is a real thing, and it's hard to know what to focus on. I appreciate you sharing all that and being genuine and open with it. So when you think of a mentor, what does that look like to you? How could I be of service and help you? Hey, Yor, thank you so much for sharing it with me and responding. Yeah, happy to share a little bit about me. So I've owned a gym business, health and fitness, nutrition, fitness, coaching facility for the past 12 years, I believe it is. Yeah, so tell me more about your product and service. If it's beneficial, like you said, mutually beneficial, I'm always open to hearing, and I'm all ears and to see what that looks like. So send me some info, what that all would look like. Okay, 2:15. Our girl's still sleeping. So now, just looking at some bright spots, some wins in the gym that Jaleesa shared. So that's amazing. I'm going to check out some shirts. I'm going to add to my store here. Let me see here. Shopify, log in. So I'm going to shoot a Loom video to my editor person on this one. Just need a couple adjustments. So I send email to my email list once a week. They get more emails than this, but this one's called the Weekly Deposit, where I share my thoughts with people and insights and stories more generally in life. Now, how I do this is I have it zoned on my calendar. I was supposed to do it on Wednesdays, but I missed it. So I do it. I'm going to do it today. And what I do is I think about a controlling idea for this email. So that's the idea I'm going to work off of. And I use a story brand script. Basically, what's the problem? What's the hook? Introducing the problem and then the solution and the outcome from there. So I use ChatGPT again. Sometimes I'll type it, but usually I use ChatGPT because it is much easier just to talk for me. So here we go. Okay, I'm writing email. I want you to write it in my style and tone of writing. Remember to avoid AI-like sentence structures that sound like it's not about this, it's about this. And good line spaces, avoid AI-type terms, and then avoid using hyphens unless you absolutely need to. Give me 5 good subject lines and 5 good preview text that'll help people stop scrolling through the inbox and click the email. Controlling idea is this. I spent an extra $30,000 on this because of my pride. So I've shared this story, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but in case someone hasn't heard this yet, we own a gym business. We have for the past 12 years, and everyone knows that during the lockdowns, there was a lot of struggle with that. And going through all that, we need to downsize. And that was apparent. And in my head, I knew we needed to downsize our gym. At the time, we were 10,000 square feet total of gym space, which was well utilized before the first closure and all the continuing closures afterwards of March 17th, 2020. Now, we had gone through this process of growing over the years, starting first 400 square foot grads, going to 3,000 square feet, then 7,000 square feet, 75 or 8,500 square feet, and then finally 10,000 square feet. We grew and grew and grew. And it was becoming obvious that with loss of revenue and the change of our model in the gym, we no longer needed the extra 3,000 square feet. But I held on to that, honestly, for 10 months too long. And that lease was probably around $3,000 a month. And so why am I sharing this with you? Sometimes we can let pride, we can let what we think something should have been get in the way of what is now. We get lost in what we think something should be or where we think we should be, and that can hurt us more, right? That cost us significantly financially. I was hopeful that it would come back. I was hopeful we'd be able to utilize that and have an ROI in that. But to use an analogy, the current was pushing us downstream. And I was trying to go against the current instead of going with the current and letting it take me back to shore. So this is a lesson. It doesn't matter if you're a business owner or if you are a business owner. Sometimes seasons change and you have no control over it. And you're going to do more harm in fighting the season than leaning into it and let things go as they will. Just like a tree goes through seasons of life, at the risk of having too many analogies here. The tree doesn't fight its seasons. It loses its leaves in the season, in the winter. It gains it back during the summer. But there's ebbs and flows, there's seasons. It doesn't fight against it. Trees just tree. And we need to steward whatever season we're in and lean into it and surrender and know that God's got a plan. And it's wise of us to make plans. It's wise of us to create systems, but sometimes it's just not going to go the way you want it to. And you have to lean into that and surrender to God. And when we let go of that side, it was like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. And I don't miss it at all. And it feels much, not cozy, that's not the right word, much nicer, much more intimate for our members. And it makes our gym more profitable too. Are you currently going through something like this, or have you in the past? Reply us, email, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, Matt Schnarr, and then put the PS section. Done. Okay, made a mistake. Put my hat on after I showered. Now I gotta consult right away here. Now I gotta get ready for him. So just a little tip, don't put a hat on or else you have to shower again and get ready again. So next is a sales call for someone who's interested in the Time Wealth program. And we'll see after, maybe going for a date with Jalisa after. So we'll see if I record anything after. Okay, just got off a sales call. That was a really cool one. This individual has had a lot of experience, a lot of great ideas, and he would be what I would say a visionary. And it's very common for visionaries not to know where to focus and nervous to miss out on potential opportunities. So that was a cool conversation, and we're going to touch base in another 3 weeks to see if it makes sense for us to work together and partner on helping him scale his business. So that's cool. The sales flow for my business is pretty straightforward. The sales funnel is my social media content, and that leads into free groups or my email list. From there, I nurture people, and then I invite them into different things to see if they're a good fit. If they're a good fit, they're like, yep, I'm in. Then we book a discovery call, a strategy call. If they're a good fit from there, we book a longer 45-minute Zoom call. And then at the end of it, if I truly think I can help them, I say, hey, this is what it is. Would you like to join? And either they say yes, they say no, now's not a good time. And if it doesn't work out, then I had an opportunity to connect with some great people and learn about them and get better at conversations. There you go.
Yes.
Cinematic? Is that what we're on?
Just in a minute.
Okay, we're off to the borough for our weekly date night.
Valentine's.
Yeah, it's Pierce's Valentine's night. Can't have any wine. Jalisa's Pergonate.
Pregante.
Pergonate. What was I going to say? We tried, when did we start doing weekly date nights? We haven't been perfect.
Since Willow was born.
Yeah, we started before that a little bit.
I
And you
don't
can
have
put the
any
camera on you
memory.
if you want the camera to see you as well. Doesn't matter. Don't know how much of that you got. I forgot to put the mic receiver in.
Rookie.
Okay, Jay, what do you got? This is on our vlog. This is the first official vlog on my YouTube channel. What should the people know or not know? No, let's just say what they should know.
I was going to say, I don't really think you can tell them what they should not know, because then they know.
And they know.
Then they know.
It is currently minus 20 Celsius. It's a funny little stat. People ask me if I get sick from doing cold exposure. I don't. I've only been sick, really sick once in the past 6 years, besides some sniffles and maybe an occasional sore throat, but I wouldn't count that.
Is that considered a stat when you just say one time?
I don't think I understand.
You said funny little stat. People get,
Is a stat
Hyped
like
up.
a multiple thing?
well, you have to say a stat. So what's your stat? If you cold plunge, you'll get sick one time a year.
Or I could just say you'll probably get sick less. Helps your immune system.
Fact. Fact check.
N equals 1. Okay, off to the borough. See what they have, the local fire station. KJ, ask questions.
I don't know. What's the best meal out in cameras you've ever had?
Best meal out in cameras you ever had? Kim's Vietnamese.
That's the best you've ever had?
I'm
That's
giving
incredible.
them a shout out.
Okay. I mean, great food, but it's also like just fast food.
It's not fast food. It's not a chain. It's
No.
You can get it quickly, but I wouldn't say it's fast food. When I think of fast food, I think like McDonald's.
I was thinking like, I mean, I feel like we've had some pretty good
Oh,
dates, but
when the stock
yep, that's exactly what
Stockman's
I
was
was
here,
gonna
we
say.
had like a 6-course France meal.
With wine pairings.
Yeah, that was a good night. That was very tasty, very fun. I don't really think of this, but Jaleesa and I are going to the Lord of the Rings Symphony Orchestra in March for my birthday.
What did make you think of that?
How much I like experiences, and that was a good experience we had with my uncle, aunt, you, obviously, and my parents. And I think experiences are way more important than things. Not to say you can't have things and that things aren't useful or that I don't like nice things, but
Oh, you like nice things.
I think
Not in a bad way. I'm just saying, I think you do.
that's why I said I like nice things.
You do.
And not like, oh no,
Frivolous.
frivolous, did I say that right?
Yep.
Not in a frivolous manner, but frivolous
Keep
manner.
saying it.
But more of like, I want to make sure it's going to last. You know, when you buy nice things, they're going to last. Hence why you never try to save money on shingles. Let's tell the story quickly. So we got our shingles replaced 6 years ago, and it's all better now in case anyone buys our house in the future. Someone was coming door to door, giving good deals. My parents live just across the street, basically, from us, and they got theirs done. We got ours done for a good deal. Theirs was fine. Ours was not. And then this company jetted out of town and would just go town to town, starting companies and then dissolving them, basically ripping people off. So don't assume. So when you are a consumer, don't always look for the best deal. You want to look for quality. Now you have to shop within your budget, but there's a reason many people pay or price their product or service at a certain price, and you don't always want to bargain or shop around, if you will. Concur?
Yes.
Any
Particularly for-
any closing sentences before we go in there?
No, I feel a little unprepared, to be honest with you.
Well, that's the whole day in the life thing. This is just us.
I don't think that's true. I think that the YouTubers, the real ones, not that you're not a real one, but like, I think they have their day in the life. They got everything planned,
Right, but they don't have
every
scripted what.
script. Oh,
no.
they know exactly what they're going to talk about.
Well, I'm sure they have things set up.
Yeah, they have.
I
They
missed
have
it.
questions. They have points they're gonna talk
What are you
about.
basing this off of?
I know a lot about YouTube. Okay,
No,
Yeah.
I think you
I
look
know
at
a lot
Sam.
about the influencers.
Okay, then who's Sam Solik or Solik?
An influencer.
This guy's going really fast.
Yeah, you should have waited. Good job.
Um,
Probably an influencer.
I don't. Lisa, I don't think you're educated enough on this matter, this topic, to give your opinion.
I'm not
I
offended.
love you. It's a nice Jeep. Okay, we're here.
See ya. So that's this. It's never disappointed me. This is a pesto version. I like that. This is foie gras. Foie gras. And I feel nervous about it, but it's in like French toast, which, let me tell you. Well, that part is like sweet, which is not what I was expecting, but I like it. And we've got some lamb, and I don't know what this is. And a chutney, if you will.
That's a wrap. Start it, end it where we started. It is 7:40. That's another question I get a lot on Instagram because I wake up so early. Usually head to bed around 7:30 to 8:30. And yeah, that's all she wrote. Thanks for joining. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe, comment below what your favorite part was. Maybe it's whether I had a mishap in the jiu-jitsu session, or maybe that I don't have teeth in now. Whatever it is, comment below and subscribe, like it. I really appreciate it. Thank you all for being here. Until next time, earn your dopamine.